And I give the call to the Chief Government Whip.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The paid parental leave is an important and absolutely critical piece of legislation from this government. It will add superannuation for a more secure retirement, and that, of course, is the name of the bill. Paid Parental Leave Amendment, adding superannuation for a more secure retirement bill, 2024. This is an important thing for women across the country in particular, because we all know that women finish work with less in their superannuation. In fact, half often of what men, the male population, finish work with. And some of that is about the childbearing years. Some of that is about the time out of work because they're caring for children. So this superannuation added to PPPL will make an enormous difference to the end outcomes for women. Adding, and of course we have the compounding interest impact of those superannuation savings over the course of decades, and that will make a difference in terms of what's happening to women's superannuation in their 20s and their 30s, all adding to a finish. Now, if I take my superannuation, for instance, I'm sure that in real terms my superannuation lump sum is going to be very different to some of the men sitting in this chamber now, because I was a teacher, because I'm a mother of 3, because I took 6 years out of employment in my childbearing years to have my family. So my superannuation is already impacted by that because, of course, there was no paid parental leave superannuation when I was having my family. So, Mr Speaker, this is a critical piece of legislation. It needs to be passed in this chamber. It needs to ensure that it comes into law so that women can have the surety that their superannuation on retirement will come near matching those of their partners, those of their brothers and those of their fathers. Mr Speaker, it is a hallmark of this government that we take seriously women's participation in the workforce and women's financial security, not in terms of welfare for women, but in terms of women's earning capacity and their legitimate right to the same outcomes as the male population. And, Mr Speaker, it is not an accident that a 15% pay rise for the feminised workforces in aged care and in early childhood education are coming from this government, because it's a government with a majority of women, women who are driving policy to improve the lives of women. That includes, of course, the financial lives of women, ensuring that they have similar retirement capacity as men. Mr Speaker, it is critical that this bill be passed through this House uncontested.